Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Formcast, and I have been slacking lately. Summer has been in full force this past month of July because my entire month of June and like the beginning of July was renovations in my home, kitchen renovations, just doing a bunch of random things. Never really, those renovations took a lot longer than I thought, to be honest, but never really took some time to really enjoy the start of summer. So these Mondays of recording have been my days off have been being spent outside, and I just went golfing today. I went golfing this morning. Um, I've been also helping July, the first 2 weeks of July, just all over the place with my dad and my grandma and all that kind of stuff. So it's been all over the place. So this was last Monday wasn't too bad either, but this today was is a day that I've got nothing. I went golfing this morning. I skipped the gym because it's deathly hot outside right now. I don't know about you guys wherever you might be listening, but it's been pretty warm here. By I had a tea time of 8:15, and it was already 27 Celsius at 8:15 in the morning. It's supposed to reach like 35 or something like that. I don't know, pretty crazy, which I don't like because that pretty much means that anything in the afternoon is got you got to be in the water or you got to be indoors. And I'm doing neither of those this afternoon. I'm actually going to go out with my parents and get some ice cream. So, I mean, at least you're eating ice cream, and hopefully we could find a spot in the shade. The spot we're going to go is on the lake. So hopefully we could find a nice spot in the shade, maybe a nice little breeze by the water. But with that being said, it's motorcycling, is riding my bike is tough in the summertime when it's 35-degree heat because it's humid here. It's not like this dry heat that's you know durable. It's endurable. Yeah, you can't endure it is what I'm trying to say. But it's this heat where you're just sweating at every red light, and unless you're going on the highway for a longer trip, then it's kind of you just get home and you sweat and you're gross and you got to wear pants and I always wear at least a hoodie and stuff and gloves and all that. So it's tough. I'm not that t-shirt and shorts rider. With that being said, though, I didn't really know what to talk about. I took last week off from doing the podcast. I've only done, I think, one episode this month, and it was the last episode talking about my dad and how he suffered two strokes. My grandma who had to move, um, and I guess I can give like a little bit of an update on that. Is the fact that my dad is out of hospital now. It's been um, he got out of hospital. It was a week last Friday, so it's been a week, almost a week and a half, and he's getting better in terms of his walking and speech and all that kind of stuff. Um, a few more tests to have done, but he's going to physiotherapy and he's going to go to the stroke clinic and all that kind of stuff. So he's doing better, which is good, and we're always, obviously happy to have him back home. But needless to say, what a wild roller coaster that is to have someone in the hospital that you that is so close, and just don't have any answers a lot of the time. So you're just kind of hoping and guessing. But with that being said, he's out of the hospital. My grandma moved. My grandma moved to a place that's about 25 minutes out of town. So my mom's a little bit worried about traveling to see her in the wintertime because my mom is not a driving type person. She does not like driving on the highways, and you got to drive on the highway to get there. And especially in the wintertime, is even my dad, they get a little bit nervous when the roads are full of snow, which is understandable. But she did move. She went to a place that is full time care for the elderly, especially even those with like dementia and all that kind of stuff. So their staff is absolutely amazing. The move was a little bit uh, anxiety filling for the simple fact that it's such a big move. My grandma's 91 years old, suffers from dementia, a few medical issues, stuff like that. So it was pretty tough on everybody, but mainly my mom, who has seemed a little bit more stress free since all of that. I actually just went yesterday with her in the afternoon to go visit my grandma and see her in their new place. And my grandma's doing great. Yeah, she's old and she's got dementia, and you never know when something could happen. But she's doing absolutely awesome. The staff there are great. She's in this room, shares a room with another person, but there's like a curtain in between them. But she has this nice big window that she has her chair beside. Her TV's there. She just hangs out and watches TV, and they take her, for some little activities and stuff like that. So it's really nice. So, um, but it's just so hard, man, because you just know people are getting older, and I'm 35 years old. I'll be 36 at the end of this year in November, and man, I don't know. The older you get, the more you realize that people are getting older and older. Um, I mean, that's the way of life. Every year, everyone gets a year older, and every day is a blessing. So you really got to take advantage of making sure that you're not wasting your time, I guess you can say. I recently watched a movie called Thelma. It's actually a comedy movie. I want to say comedy with a tiny bit of action. Plot is an old lady gets scammed, and she seeks revenge on the scammer, and she goes off on this little adventure. But from an elderly's perspective, it was really different to see and hear, because there's a line in the movie, and this doesn't spoil the movie, but she's talking to her grandson. So I'm just picturing myself with my grandma. My grandma's my last grandparent as well. But there's this line in the movie, and she says, you get greedy in life because you want to see what happens to those that you love. And it's just so wild to me that I'm always sitting here being like, oh, I don't want my grandma to pass, and I got to spend some time with her so we can watch some more hockey games together and all that kind of stuff. And you never really flip the shoe on the foot where it's like, what is she thinking? And maybe it's just that is that it sucks because she won't get to see what happens to the loved ones that she has. She won't see what I become as an old person, or she won't see what her own daughter and sons are like when they're 80 years old. So, or what my nephew will be, her great grandchild. So, it's tough. So just a lot of things happening this month in terms of thinking about family and life in general, and just kind of going through the motions. And then I work through all of that. So this month has been very all over the place. The last couple weeks, the last week and a half, have been a lot more positive than the first start of the month, which I'm happy to report. And I'm excited to see what happens the rest of this summer. I have a few plans coming up. I got family weekend this coming weekend, with the fact that it's a long weekend here in Canada. Most provinces have the Monday off. It's an August long weekend, and that means a lot of people are off. So we got a bunch of family getting together at the family camp. Going to be doing that. I just recently got a kayak, so doing some kayaking. And went, like I said, went golfing today, and then the weekend after that, I'm going to see Goo Goo Dolls in Toronto. So I'm not used to taking all this time off, which makes me scared, because I'm always like, well, if you're not live, you don't make any money, and if you don't make money, you don't pay your bills, and if you don't pay your bills, then you live on the streets. That's kind of like where my brain goes sometimes. But it's really fun though as a streamer, because you can be like, oh, if I'm off Saturday, let's do a 12-hour on Friday, or if I'm off Friday, Saturday, we'll come back harder the next week and spend more time live. You always have an opportunity to make up the hours, and I've really struggled to wrap my head around that as I continue streaming, and because it is my full-time job. So it's really tough to just be like, I'm just gonna take all this time off and hope that the rest of the month is makes up for it. um, I mean, the last 3 months before this one were my best months ever in streaming. And now we've come back to a more normal type of routine in terms of average viewerships, subs, bits, donos, time streamed, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just been a whirlwind this month. So um, part of me says I should apologize to the listeners to the podcast, that like, hey, I'm sorry that I only had 2 episodes this week or this month, but I don't want to apologize, because I know that if I'm not in the mood for it, then I shouldn't be doing it. And I've definitely wanted to, like, even today was tough to get on. I mean, I'm a little tired. It's really hot. I went, got up early, went golfing, that kind of stuff. Sounds like a pretty easy morning, right? Because it is. But I'm also just kind of mentally drained of everything. So got on anyways, and I think this is been a good chat. So not much of a main topic today, but just kind of chit chatting away. And I hope you enjoy these podcast episodes, because they are getting tougher and tougher to do, tougher and tougher to make. But I'm sure more stuff will come up as we stream and as we live that will give us some topics to talk about. With that being said, I appreciate you listening. And as always, we'll catch you next time. Cheers.